on Facebook, on YouTube, and actually now I'm streaming on Twitch. So, if you guys have a Twitch account and, you're getting bored watching video games and maybe you want to learn something, head on over to Twitch and subscribe to the channel Riley David for Real. And, it'll just break up the boring monotony of watching people play video games all day. I know how ridiculous that is. I feel like I'm just interrupting the Twitch platform with my helpful content. So I wanted to come on today. The title of this video is a proven way to get more customers. And that might seem like a balderdash to you. That's a 1950s words for some of you people. And you know what? It's actually not, right? So there's a proven way to get customers. It's like tried and true. And most of you are familiar with it. It's called advertising, right? It's not anything special. It's not like it's a new thing. But a lot of people aren't doing it, right? Or they're not doing it effectively, and that's a problem. So they think it doesn't work, right? Or let's talk about digital advertising, right? So they'll try something once and they're like, it doesn't work, or maybe they overpaid for a service and they just stop doing it. But that's like, if you look at like anything you've ever did in your life, the first time you did it, you probably couldn't do it, right? That's just the way it is. So I wanted to come on and really just talk about like how, I had a phone call or Zoom call with an individual earlier, and they thought that their specific marketing situation was unique. And from a certain perspective, it was unique, right? Like that's why they took that client, because they want a unique offer. They understand that they can position it in a certain way. But the problem was that the market research wasn't really there. You know what I mean? Like the research was done, but it wasn't translated over to the execution. And that happens. It right? It just does. But the thing is like when you think that you have a unique situation, right? Then you kind of stop doing the things that like work, right? Because you're like, well, this is unique, so we're gonna have to create this whole special thing to service this unique thing. And like you could, or you could just do the things that work, right? And the basics, like mass messaging, like communicating with somebody more than once, that works, and the internet just gives you the ability to automate these things. So you can do these things at scale. A lot of people, when it comes to messenger bots, they're like, I like to have the personal conversation. And the thing is like, well, if you program the messenger bot, then you are having the personal conversation. Now, that's a little like off the beaten path, but my point is that there's a certain framework that like that you kind of have to go through in order to get paying customers to come to your door or call you through advertising, right? And it, like, no matter what, it goes from somebody not knowing you to calling you. And there's a couple of things, like you can change what it is, but the mechanisms are all the same, so like how you go about doing it, like you can switch that up, but it's all still going to be pretty traditional. Like you're trying to capture someone's attention and you're trying to get them to trust you. And then you're trying to like get them to feel something and want to take action, right? Like all of that stuff is the same. The thing is like when you're doing it through advertising, you can do it to a lot of people. And when you're advertising on the internet, you can do it to a lot of people for a very little amount of money, right? So it's like extremely cheap and effective. And the problem with business is like, I think it was Ed Milet that said, like, if you want to solve your problems, just run more numbers. Like, it's literally that simple. It's just run more numbers. Also, I forgot to make a pitch. So if you're watching this video and this seems like something that makes sense to you, If I seem like somebody that knows what they're talking about, and you don't like you're trying to market your business, you're trying to get more people to call you, trying to get more sales, but you don't want to do it yourself. You don't want to run your own Google ads. You don't want to try and come up with a specific headline to capture people's attention. I do stuff like that. So head on over to rds.marketing and I can help you out. Like that's what I do. All right. So listen, your situation is not unique. Okay. There are people out there that have taught specific frameworks. Frank Kern is the main dude I follow. If you follow his frameworks, which I do, you'll get paying customers to call you. You'll get people hitting you up saying, "Hey, can I do business with you?" Like it just works that way, and there's a way you can do it for free, but if you spend money on advertising, I'm telling you, it works. It works extremely well. Like it's it's insane how well it works. Okay. Especially on digital because the attention's there. You know, people running Instagram ads, like that stuff works. There's a reason that people are paying money to do this. And probably you're not. It's funny. I hate to take the Gary Vee line, but it's really true. And it's what's even really more true is the amount of people in my industry, like the digital marketing, that aren't running ads to get customers, but they want to run ads for other people. I don't I can't, the hypocrisy in that is amazing to me. But it's how many of you guys have an opinion on digital marketing, on Google ads, on YouTube ads, on Snapchat ads, on Pinterest ads, on Facebook ads, on Instagram ads, like on porn site ads? You know what I mean? How many of you guys have an opinion on these things, but have never actually tried it? Probably a lot of you. Like, how many of you guys are currently running ads right now? Maybe 20%, maybe, you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the table. And so here's the thing. I'm not making a call for you to hire me right now, but actually I am, right? So if you if you want to do this effectively, if you don't want to have the fucking learning curve of trying to get these platforms to work, because believe me, when I first started doing this, my eyes just glazed over when I looked at the AdWords account or the Business Manager or any of these platforms, like the LinkedIn platform. Oh, geez, it's super boring and it's kind of confusing. I understand all of this stuff really well, and I understand how to get people to call you, how to pick anybody. Tell me you're a customer and I can get people exactly like that calling you, their age range, their nationality, their how much money they make, where they if you give me any information like that, I can get people calling you. It's as simple as that. The real question is, how much can you afford to spend to get people to call you? Most people think advertising doesn't work after they spend $50 on an ad. It doesn't work like that, especially in these digital platforms. You got to at least spend $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 to really make these things work. You know what I mean? So if you have a business and you're already spending on advertising, let's say you're spending on print or radio or TV or something that's not digital that you can't really track, I recommend just take 20% of what you're spending over there and move it over here. And here's what I can promise you: that 20% that you move over here will bring you a bigger return than this 80% that you are spending over here. And I can almost guarantee that. So if that's something that you're interested in trying out, actually, Facebook right now is offering to give 3 of my clients a $2,000 ad credit if you let me set up your pixel or your catalog or anything technical. So if that's something that you're interested in learning more about, getting a $2,000 ad credit, head on over to rds.marketing, scroll all the way to the bottom, click the button, get in touch with me, and I'll talk to you later. All right, see ya.